Sarah from Running Shoes Guru here. If you're a runner and you're training in a gym, working with weights, and you're wearing a running shoe, this video is for you. We're going to talk about our favourite training shoe of the year, the Reebok Nano X. Take it out of the box. It feels pretty heavy and solid. It feels like it's going to protect your foot when you're doing pretty extreme exercise. When you put it on, similar to the rest of Nanos, I find them to come up really big. So I tend to go half a size down from my normal shoe size, and also half a size down from what I am in a Nike Metcon as well, if that's what you normally wear. It does feel slightly different to the Nano 9 in that it is slightly narrower. Don't let this fool you, it is still a really wide shoe. You can see that on the base as well. And that's what all Nanos are designed for. They're designed to let your feet spread out, be comfortable when you're in a gym lifting weights. So along with the claim to be the most runnable Nano yet, Reebok claims it's the best looking Nano, and I really do agree. It's not out in loads of colourways at the moment. There will be more coming soon, but I think it's a shoe you could wear outside the gym as well as just inside, which I felt with previous Nanos hasn't been the case. They haven't been the best looking shoes out there. So if we start with looking at the sole unit, I think the first thing that you notice if you've got a Nano 9 is that it's identical. So all the great features from that, all the things that work have been carried through to this shoe. The next thing you probably notice is the Rope Pro wrap. So this wraps up around the inside and also the outside of the shoe. This is to protect your feet and also protect the shoe from any damage if you're climbing up ropes fast, or for anything that's going to really damage the shoe. Just adds the extra layer of protection. On the outsole, you can see the 3 meta-split grooves. This is just so your foot can flex well when you're moving it around. And it is a really flexible shoe, despite the fact it's quite heavy and solid. It's also made of a dual density EVA foam, so it's a bit softer at the forefoot than it is under the heel. Again, to protect your feet when you're running, so give a bit of cushioning when you're running, jumping, things like that, but also be really solid under the base to protect your foot and protect your heel when you are lifting. So moving on to the upper, one of the unique things about the Nano range is this flex weave upper. It's a super stretchy material sideways, woven into an X pattern with extra overlays in areas of high abrasion, so around the toes, around the heel cup as well. There's not going to be any issues with wearing down over time there. The way the upper is constructed is this super durable mesh overlay over the padded area around the foot for it to remain comfortable. It does come up quite high on the heel cup and on the tongue, but I found no issues with it rubbing. It's really padded, made of really premium materials, so there weren't any issues there. Another thing that's changed from previous versions is they've added in this cage over the laces, again probably to protect them from when you're climbing ropes and just make them a little bit more sturdy. So when it came to lifting weights in the Nano 10, disclaimer, I didn't manage to get into a gym because we're on lockdown here, so I haven't used a barbell. However, I do have a kettlebell at home, which I've been swinging around, and it did a fantastic job. It keeps your feet really still, so your centre of gravity remains where it should be. You're not swaying around the place or worried that your ankle's going to roll over, so it was absolutely perfect for that. I'm sure when I get back into a gym, it's going to perform the same as the Nano 9, which was really great, just because the sole unit's exactly the same as that. And if anything, the fit's a little bit better, so it'll be even more secure and you'll be able to lift even more confidently than previously. For movements like burpees and mountain climbers, again, this was great. It's really flexible and it's quite protected and grippy at the front. I didn't feel like my feet were sliding around. My heel didn't move around in it. It felt really secure and locked down, much better than a running shoe when it came to this sort of thing. When testing it against things like skipping and jumping, again, it does its job. So it's got a really grippy outsole, so you don't feel like you're going to slip if you're jumping onto a box. And the foam is quite responsive underfoot for a few skips and jumps. However, the weight of the shoe here lets it down a little bit. If you're doing a high number of skips or box jumps, you really can feel the weight of the Nano 10. So of all the training shoes we've tested, the Nano 10 edged ahead slightly for me when it came to performance across everything we tested it against, and also the way it looks and just the way it performs in every sort of aspect. it is slightly better for running in than other ones we've tested, which is why it was my favourite one out there. The only thing that I'd perhaps change from previous versions is for it to lose a little weight. It can feel quite heavy over time, and I think that's the only improvement that could be made at the moment.